it up. This guy is fucking amaze balls. Starting over here, can we give him a big round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Chimney Stack!
Hello. My mother made me wear my sister's red tights until I was 14. After that, she let me wear whatever colour tights I wanted. Thing was, she didn't make me wear them on my legs, she used to make me wear them over my head. So every time I went to the bank when I was a child, I would get arrested. It wasn't just the tights, they used to steal stuff. Small things, pens and notepads. Sometimes I'd go to the car park and steal a small car. They didn't like that. Said to me, well, you stole my car, you stole my car. I'd say, yes, I stole your car, but it's a good thing. Because that car smelled absolutely stinking. It smelled like horrible stale prawn cocktail crisps, and now it doesn't. Because I set it on fire. Now it smells like smoky bacon crisps. Because there was a pig in the boot. Who puts a pig in the boot of a car and then forgets about it? Obviously me in this case, but I mean, who else would do that? Thing was, at the start, when I set the car on fire, there was a lot of squealing, and then at the end there was a lovely smell, which sort of balanced itself out. Apart from, not for the pig obviously, but... People said to me, when you heard the pig squealing, why did you not take it out of the boot? And I said, because I didn't know it was a pig, I thought one of the voices in my head was making pig noises to annoy the other voices in my head. Then I was sort of confused. I was thinking, why is the other voices not making horse noises and elephant noises as they normally do? And then I wasn't really paying much attention because when I set the car on fire, I took all the clothes off and ran around in circles, squawking like a bird and seeing if I could fly. And I couldn't, which was kind of disappointing. When I was a wee boy, I used to spend a lot of time chasing wee girls and pulling their hair. Used to chase them around, pull their hair, and then cut it off with a hatchet. The thing was, wee girls, they really could run very fast. They're very hard to catch when you're chasing them with a hatchet. And then the tights over the head didn't help as well. Used to run into the wall a lot when I was younger. I mean, now I don't think the wee girls can run as fast as the wee girls when I was young. Maybe it's just my imagination, or because my legs are longer than theirs, but they're definitely easy to catch now. Thing is too, when I was young, I really, really want to catch the wee girls and cut off their hair and take it home and put it down my pants. And now that I can catch them, and I've got all this hair, but I don't even bring it home, because my wife would catch me when she was searching my pants. That's what wives do. You can't hide anything in your pants anymore. So now I don't even take the hair home, I just bring it in my car and then throw it out the window. After smelling it for half an hour. The thing was, I used to play with the girls a lot, you know, but the wee boys didn't like me in school, which was very, very, very strange. And I remember going home to my father and said, Daddy, Daddy, I was wearing my big pink suit, sitting in a wee pink chair. I says, Daddy, the boys in school won't play with me. And he said, well, do you have any common interests with the boys? And I said, I don't know what that means. And he said, well, what do the boys like to do? And I said, they like to talk about cars and they like to play football. He said, do you like to play football? And I said, no. He said, why not? And I said, because the ball doesn't have any hair. Cut off. And he said, right. And I said, Daddy, do you think I could invent a game called Hatchet Catch It? And get all the boys to play? And I said, I have no idea what Hatchet Catch It is, but it couldn't be any worse than what they're really doing. So go for it. And he said, son, when you're in the house, you take those tights off your head, you're freaking weird. Me and my father were very different personalities. We had a very strained relationship when I was growing up. We're just very different. I used to chase wee girls and cut their hair off with a hatchet. And he used to carry a hat and put babies in a bag. We're just very different. There were two ships passing the night. Two ships destined to spend a lot of time in prison. a huge maritime prison far out at sea. So the next day, I didn't tell the wee boys anything about Hatchet Catch It, I just surprised them. It's funny, you don't realise how much people want to play Hatchet Catch It until you make them. Because people run everywhere, shouting, screaming, with delight, possibly. We played all day. At one point, one of the wee boys lay down on the ground and he said, please stop chasing me, I'm tired. Please, I don't want to play anymore. I don't like you, you're a weirdo. And I thought, hold on a minute here. You're trying to trick me, because who doesn't want to play Hatchet Catch It? At one point the teacher came out and she said, stop chasing those boys with that hatchet. So then I chased her around with the hatchet. There was a lot of benefits to Hatchet Catch It in the school. There wasn't any fat people in the school. Because when you're playing Hatchet Catch It for 6 hours a day, you get very fat. Very fast. I mean, there was fat people at the start, but they didn't last. Let's just say all the fat people left the school in a coffin. Obviously not in one coffin, they were all very overweight, it had been a massive coffin. I saw one of my old school friends recently there in last Saturday in the car park in Craigavon Shopping Centre, and I saw him over in the distance and I shouted over to him. I was like, hey, do you remember me? Do you remember the hatchet? And he started to run. He must have been late for an appointment or something. But I started to chase after him anyway. I was chasing him for a while right across, and he definitely can run very fast, to be fair to him. And I remember as I was running after him, I was thinking, does he recognise me or not? And then I was thinking, it's strange if he doesn't, because you couldn't have that many grown men running about on a Saturday afternoon with tights on their head. So halfway across, I realised, oh Jesus, he's not late for an appointment at all. He wants to play Hatchet Catch It. So I was like over here, the car was over here. I had to go back to the car to get the hatchet out of the boot, because I was keeping the boot just in case I go past the school or something. And I got back to the car and opened the boot and I took out the hatchet, and then it's funny because a lot of people in the car park, and when I took out the hatchet, everybody wanted to play Hatchet Catch It. The thing is, on a Saturday afternoon, there's a lot of old people out doing the shopping, and people think that old people can't run fast. That's not actually true. They can run fast, they just can't keep up the pace for that long. That's their downfall. So I was cutting off the old woman's hair and I was putting it down my pants, but it's funny, old women's hair, it isn't the same always as young girls' hair. It's grey for one thing, and it's pretty thin. You need like a lot of old women's hair to really plump up your pants. So, I mean, you gotta work with what you have, but I mean, it wasn't great. So, then the police turned up, and I was thinking, do they want to play Hatchet Catch It too? And they actually did, no they didn't, they really didn't. There was a male cop and a female one, and I think the female one sort of, I got her back a wee bit because I think she could sort of see me eyeing at her long brown hair when I was sharpening my hatchet, and that just sort of, the atmosphere changed because shortly after she shot me. I mean, it wasn't that bad, she just got me in the abdomen, and most of the bullets just went right through, so it wasn't a big deal, right at the back, not at my bottom, but you know. And that sort of slowed me down, and loss of blood, it really did. But at that point I was sort of doubled over limping, but I was still going after the people, but the only people I could catch at that point were the old people in Zimmer frames, which is kind of embarrassing, but I mean, you gotta keep going until the game finishes. So I was chasing two of them up in the corner, I was limping and they were moving, and one of them on the outside says, please, this is my wife here, I love her, please don't cut her hair off. We've been together for 50 years. And I just stopped. And then I looked and it goes, hold on a minute, that's not your wife, Edith, that's a man. Your wife's over there. Look, there's your wife there. You see? I cut her hair off 5 minutes ago. Where were you then? I remember earlier in primary school, when I was, before I got the tights on the head, I would sometimes fall asleep at my desk. And the teacher came over one day and she sort of sneaked up and she says, "Wakey, wakey, Mr. Sleepopotamus." And I sort of woke up and sort of looked at her, and then she punched me in the face. Which fully woke me up after that. I remember thinking, I wouldn't like to be an actual sleepopotamus because they must have very sore faces. But it taught me a valuable life lesson. Never fall asleep in front of a woman. Especially if you're driving one of them bendy buses. Remember one day she said to me, "Jimmy, you like your tights, don't you, Jimmy?" And I said, "Yes, miss." And she said, "And you like eating insects, don't you, Jimmy?" And I said, "Yes, miss." And she said, "And you'd like to go outside and climb a tree, wouldn't you, Jimmy?" And I said, "Yes, miss." And she said, "So we don't have any trees, so sit down and shut up." Sort of brought a tear. I remember I used to fantasize after going to school in the middle of a forest where there were loads of trees to climb. I also used to daydream about dancing with talking bananas, but maybe that's something different. I've been Jimmy Stacks, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen,